Hello and welcome to another episode of Making It Work for You. My name is Ben Hecht from Christo IT Services, and today we'll be discussing some basic IT security tips for your small business. The topics of discussion for today are short and sweet. We will be covering some basic office hardware recommendations and some basic cybersecurity do's and don'ts. So, whether or not you're working from a home office right now, or your office building, or planning to go back as soon as we can, there are some basic things that every business should deploy in order to meet some baseline IT standards. So, let's start off simple with the modem, router, gateway device from our internet service providers. I know that Verizon and Comcast provide you with a unit that provides basic firewall functionality, but honestly, they're really nothing in comparison to actually having a dedicated business class firewall with an active security subscription and something that's managed by an IT professional. So make sure you get yourself a business class firewall like a Sonic Wall or something of the like. For wireless connectivity, it's also a good idea to get yourself a dedicated Wi Fi access point where you can, one, create yourself a secure guest network for non employee use that's completely separate from your business use Wi Fi network. Secondly, one that's managed by a cloud web console where you can access it from a website without having to be on site to manage the devices. And finally, one that's easy to add other units to increase range and signal strength, and something that we recommend is a unit called Unify. Very great unit. So now you pay for fast internet speeds, and you want to make sure not to bottleneck your network in any way. And you can do this if you have gigabit switches and firewalls with gigabit throughput throughout your entire network. And this includes gigabit phones, and especially gigabit phones if you're daisy chaining your phone into your computer for your voice over IP deployment. Now, when it comes to hardware, if you want to get a full 5 years out of your machine, make sure you get PCs or laptops with, at minimum, an i5 processor, 16 gigs of RAM, and a 250 gig solid state. And then for the power users in the office, scale up to the bigger machines, one with an i7 processor as a baseline, maybe 32 gigs of RAM, and so forth. The most important thing you can do for your hardware is to protect it after you buy it. Get the 3-year warranty protection plan on all your PC equipment, and look into getting the 4-hour on-site response upgrade for your server warranty, unless you don't mind your server being down for a long period of time, which is pretty unacceptable for most business owners that I've spoken with. And finally, get yourself a backup and disaster recovery device, one that offers on-site and off-site backups and their full system images, and also a backup device that supports server virtualization. Now, a pro tip just before I go to the next slide, make sure you get Windows 10 Professional when you're purchasing computers. If you're the one in charge of it, or if you are telling somebody else to get it, please don't get the home version because your IT professional will not appreciate having to upgrade everything, and it'll be an extra expense that you didn't expect. So now I know, if you want to run a tight ship and set a strong baseline for your IT standards at your company, there's some big checkboxes that I know you can hit that will keep HR and your insurance companies very happy. On your workstations, make sure that they're installing and managing premium antivirus, anti-spam, and VPN solutions, and that everything they're working on is saved directly onto your company's drives, and nothing's actually saved on the local workstation hard drives. It's a lot easier to back up your systems to the cloud when you only have to worry about backing up your server resources instead of an entire fleet of workstations. To further protect your workstations and application data, enforce a password policy that rotates every 90 days and make the passwords reasonably complicated, just enough to drive you insane, and also enable multi factor authentication on everything that offers it. It's a good idea to make sure that everyone on your network has their own login and that no users are sharing accounts. So creating individual accounts will help you with your overall IT domain management and show you who's logging in, what they have access to, and furthermore, provide cybersecurity training for your employees at least once a year to make sure that they are aware of the most recent scammer activity. Now, what you got to do is document all of this wonderfully fun and boring and awesome information and your processes on things like disaster recovery and your work from home policies into your acceptable use policy as part of your employee handbook. Now, when you go to get cybersecurity liability coverage, your provider will try to show you as much love as possible on your premium pricing if you have all this stuff in place and show that you're at least making the best effort possible to protect your business. My name is Ben Hecht with Christo IT Services with some basic IT tips for your small business. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the number on the screen. Thanks for watching.